Hello, and welcome to a Vintage Story Mob Farm guide. To start, I'll be going over the required materials for this build. A pickaxe, a chisel, and a hammer, two fences, two non-flammable slabs, a bucket of water, and of course, food and journey to help light the way. Optionally, temporal gears and sand may be helpful in the creation of this build. Now, to start the build, one of the most important things that is required is finding lava. Now, lava is not obtainable itself. It is found underground, usually close to the mantle. Lava also seems to be tied to hot spring spawns. On the map, hot springs tend to look like strange lake blobs that cut out vegetation like here and like here. So if you're on the map and you see these strange little lakes, that can be a good sign to start digging for lava. Now to start, you want to ideally find some lava that is above the mantle so you can break into it and extract it, because what we need to do is we need to break the lava out. We will be breaking it out until its maximum flow length, which is 7. Once we've reached the maximum flow length, we're going to stop and break out the rest of the stones 7 blocks back. Now this is one of the most important parts, and if you mess this up, you're going to have to use the sand. But what we need to do is you break the block and you place a slab as fast as you can. Doing this will prevent the lava from flowing and will not require sand to be used to fall on the lava to clog it up. Doing so, just like that. Now, the next step is we will be chiseling out the 2x2 across the whole block. Doing this will prevent the lava from falling, but it'll still let things push into it slightly. Now this is where the magic begins to happen. Because what we're doing here now is we're giving mobs the opportunity to take damage by the lava without standing in it, which is a big deal. Next is where the water comes in. What we need to do is we need to get our water to flow, and we need it to be exactly 7 out as well, so it forms this little up water curve here. And we want to leave this part of the water covered, because if things can get into this part of the water, they will stand there and get stuck and not be pushed into the lava. Next, I will be building out an observation area. This is so that you can harvest things yourself, and also it is required to do this because if you are too close to the farm, your character's entity protection will prevent spawns. Now, what we need to do is we need to build above. So, starting at least 2 blocks out, because if things fall directly into the lava, it'll prevent them from being harvestable, because if they die on lava, their corpse is sealed. So you always want to keep, you don't want them to be this far out, you want it to be 1 out inwards from the lava. We'll be going 3 upwards before we create our first platform. The platforms we'll be creating are just to incentivize spawnings and nothing more. So very simply, break out and begin spawning. I will do a quick little time lapse of this. Now that we got the first layer completed, things will now begin to spawn and fall into the water, which will push them into the lava, which will let you collect from it. Now, around this point, you might be getting a bit unstable, so you can always use a temporal gear to increase your stability again. Now, to make this farm more effective, all you simply do is you go up another couple 3 blocks, and then you carve out another spawning floor. Important to note is that once you go beyond 24 blocks, you will start getting lower tier spawns like tier 2s. You can get them down here, but by preventing yourself from going over 24, you will get majority tier 4s and tier 3s, which will greatly increase your rate of gear production. I will now commit to a time lapse again of the rest of the farm being made. Welcome back. As you can see, 5 identical floors have been made to encourage spawnings in this farm. There is only 2 difference on the top floor, and it's that the gap between them is fully broken. This is just because the higher they are, the more they have to fall, so might as well give them more opportunity to do so. Now, for the ending of the farm, there's 2 things you gotta do. The first thing is you gotta chisel out a harvesting area. Now, my go-to is just simply taking the chisel, making a little 4x4, and then cracking my way through, and then as I need, I can just chisel and claim as many things as I want. Now, this is going on. What about the other side? Simply put, what we gotta do is go around. So we just put it up a little bit. Probably not back into the farm. This is nice and all, but make a little observation deck as you go around. But ideally, you would just have a second area over here. You just chisel out yourself once again. Chisel this side. There you go. Now you can also have this block be broken, and then chisel this one out as well to give you like even more opportunity, things like that. Plenty of ideas, customize your own. Another second thing I will mention is that things tend to get stuck on the fences. As you can see, that corrupted one right there is making a little dash. So what we do here is we make a little area over here, and then we just punch a hole through it once again. And this is just a little hole, so if anything bad happens, you can just kill them and harvest them here. It happens. Things can clog, whatnot. You know, vintage story stuff. But other than that, it's a pretty steadfast AFK farm. Now, this farm's really effective. And my initial testings of a prototype got me 200 gears an hour. And all you really do is you sit here, you run back over here, get a little bit far. This is about 16 blocks away. You can go farther to like 30 if you want. I think at this point it'll likely be fine. As you can see, we have spawns in here. It's really up to you, the distance and what settings you have. If you want to go farther, so be it. Just remember, you're going to need more light between the tunnels the farther you go. And then lastly, make sure you have a little storage room, a little trunk just to throw your loot. And that's it. And that's the farm. It's just a bunch of floors, that little lava trick, and then just having things pile in and in and in. The only thing is, while it is AFK, it's not AFK for too long. I would check back on it at least every like 5 to 10 minutes, because when things get clogged, the bodies stop them from pushing into the lava. But other than that, you're good to go. I'm going to end this video off with a little time lapse of just me sitting here harvesting all these creatures. And when we get to the end, we can do a little loot reveal after like 10 minutes. Alright. For about 10 minutes, this is the loot we got. This is a bit on the unlucky side. Not many gear drops and whatnot, but, you know, it's a start. And for completely AFK, not bad. Alright, now that the farm's finished, I'm going to give you 3 tips on having a more smoother experience with your new drifter farm. Tip number 1, killing high tiers increases temporal stability by a lot. So if you're getting low, you don't have to use a temp gear or go to the surface. You can always take a few smacks in the farm and get your stability back that way. Tip number 2, if you can help it, it is useful to plug up other caves or put a bunch of light sources in caves nearby so that more spawns happen in your farm. And tip number 3 is the logout method. On logout, if it's single player at least, that I know of, when you log out, things despawn. So when you log back in, your farm will basically fill up quicker because the entity limit for the caves around you isn't affecting your farm. So every, I don't know, 2 minutes or 2-3 harvests, you could log in and out, and that will effectively make the farm go much quicker. It's way less AFK, but it is faster gears. And that's all. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and check out another video of mine if you like the video. Have a good one, and goodbye.